Welcome to the IRBNet tutorial video brought to you by the North Texas Regional IRB. The purpose of this video is to cover the basics of how to use IRBNet. In this video, we will address IRBNet new user registration, how to create and submit a new project, responding to the IRB's intake findings and other findings, and how to submit post-approval requests in IRBNet, such as modifications to the study. Let's get started. Go to www.irbnet.org. If you have not used IRBNet before, you will need to register as a user. Click on New User Registration. Complete the form with your institutional email address and affiliate with your institution. Choose username and password. Click Continue, then read and agree to the IRBNet user terms of use. On the next screen, enter a recovery email. This can be a personal email address. You will then receive two emails from IRBNet. The first is a 6-digit activation code which will be sent to your recovery email address, and you will then need to enter it into the IRBNet website. In the email you registered with, you will receive a link to verify your IRBNet account. Both of these steps must be completed in order to begin the process of submitting a project in IRBNet.
Once your IRBNet user account has been created, log into the IRBNet website with your credentials. Click on the link on the left-hand sidebar to Create New Project. Enter the project title and the principal investigator's name. All the other fields are optional. On the next screen, it is suggested to start with Step 2 by clicking the Start a Wizard button at the bottom. Then click the small link that says North Texas Regional IRB New Protocol Application Form. Click Next, and the wizard will guide you through a series of dynamic questions about your project. Answer all the questions, clicking Next to proceed to the next screen. Once all the questions in the wizard have been answered, you will reach a Principal Investigator Attestation page. This page will provide a list of suggested forms and templates that may apply to your project. Click Save and Exit, and you will be taken to your project's Designer page. The Designer page is where you will upload all the required documents for your project, including completed forms and templates. To access blank fillable forms and templates, you can visit the NTR IRB Forms page on the NTR IRB website, which is linked in this video. Researchers are required to submit a completed protocol synopsis with every new project. The NTR IRB currently offers two versions of the protocol synopsis template: the Chart Review Protocol Synopsis template, which is used only for medical chart review studies, and the Protocol Synopsis template General, which must be used for all other types of projects. A guidance document has been specifically prepared to assist you in completing the General Protocol Synopsis template. To access the guidance document, go to the NTR IRB Forms page, scroll up to the Guidance section, and download the Master Protocol Synopsis Guidance Sheet, which will walk you through the required information for completing the Protocol Synopsis template. In addition to the Protocol Synopsis document, you will need to download any other forms or templates that apply to your project. Examples include informed consent templates, HIPAA authorization forms, requests for waivers of HIPAA or the informed consent process, and more. Once you have downloaded all the required forms and templates to your computer, complete them with information that is applicable to your project. You will also need to create any other research-related materials that you intend to use in your project, like recruitment flyers, email scripts, surveys or questionnaires, data collection sheets, and so on. Once all your needed forms, templates, and associated study documents are completed and ready to be uploaded, visit the Designer page in IRBNet and upload all the necessary documents to your project. In addition to your study-specific documents, be sure to upload all required trainings, including evidence of training in human subject research, such as CITI for all key personnel, licenses, the CV of the PI, and so on. For studies that will be reviewed at the expedited or full board level, the IRB also requires signed conflict of interest forms for all key personnel. The conflict of interest forms can be downloaded from the NTR IRB Forms page. Please upload one file for each different type of training. For instance, one file containing all human subject protection training for all key personnel, one file containing conflict of interest forms for all study personnel, and so on. If you will be working with any external collaborators, please upload a transcript of the training modules that were completed so that the IRB can review the transcript and determine whether the modules are equivalent to the modules that are required by the NTR IRB. Alternatively, researchers can upload their trainings, CVs, and licenses into their user profile in the Trainings and Credentials section. This will allow them to upload these documents once, where they can then be linked to multiple projects.
Before submitting the project for IRB review, remember to share the project with key members of the study team and the appropriate personnel from your home institution. If you are unsure who from your institution needs access to your submission, please contact the NTR IRB for guidance. There are 3 levels of user access to projects in IRBNet: full access, write access, and read-only access. Choose the appropriate level of access depending upon the role of the individual personnel in your project. The principal investigator is required to sign all projects in IRBNet prior to study submission. On the left-hand sidebar, click Sign this package to begin the signature process. Please note that the IRB is not able to accept the signature of study personnel in place of the principal investigator. When the project is complete and ready to be submitted to the IRB, click Submit this package on the left-hand sidebar and follow the instructions to submit the package for IRB review. Please select the North Texas Regional IRB as the reviewing board for your study and click Continue. The submission type should be New Project. Add any relevant comments as needed, such as needing to meet a specific study start date or deadline, and click Submit. Your study has now been submitted to the NTR IRB for review. You should receive a confirmation email from IRBNet. After you have submitted your project in IRBNet, the IRB will conduct a completeness check of your submission within a couple of business days. The IRB will either 1. Determine that your submission is complete and will notify you via a project mail message in IRBNet that all of the required documents have been submitted and that the submission has been placed in the queue for a more detailed review. Or 2. Inform you about any required documents that are missing and/or important questions that need to be answered. If this is the case, the IRB will unlock the package to allow you to upload the required documents and answer any questions. Once you have uploaded all the required documents and answered the IRB's questions, if any, you must click the link to Mark Revisions Complete. When you complete this step, the package will automatically be relocked in IRBNet, and the IRB will be notified that your project is ready for additional review. Please note that the IRB will not be informed that the project is ready without completing this important step. Once the IRB has received your updated package, the IRB will complete a more thorough review of your study documents. Please note that it is likely that the IRB will send detailed requests for revisions and clarifications. If this is the case, the IRB will unlock the package in IRBNet to let you know that your response is needed before continuing with the review of the project. IRBNet will send an email to notify you that the IRB has unlocked the package pending your response. Feedback from the board may be delivered in one of 2 ways. For shorter requests, the feedback will be delivered via an IRBNet project mail message. In cases where the board has more questions and items to be addressed, feedback may be issued as a board document. To access the board documents for your project, log into IRBNet and go to My Projects, click on the appropriate project, and go to Reviews. The IRB's feedback will be listed as a request for information and will be available for download. After reviewing the board's feedback, be sure to edit your study materials to address all of the IRB's comments and questions. When your revisions are completed, log into IRBNet and go to My Projects, click on the appropriate project, and go to the Designer page. From the Designer page, you can delete study documents, upload new study documents, or use the pencil icon to upload a new version of a previously uploaded document. For each document that has been updated, be sure to upload 2 versions, one with track changes, if the document allows track changes, as well as a clean version to be stamped by the IRB upon approval. If changes to the Wizard application, also called the North Texas Regional IRB New Protocol Application Form, are necessary, click the pencil icon next to that form in the Designer to be able to edit your responses. You can also use the convenient Jump To drop-down feature to quickly visit different sections of this form. Be sure to create a separate memo which explains how each of the IRB's requests was addressed and have the memo signed by the principal investigator prior to submission in IRBNet. You are welcome to download the board's request for information document and use it to provide point-by-point responses to the board's feedback. Again, the same as when you're responding to intake findings. Once all of your revised study materials have been uploaded in IRBNet, you must click the link to mark revisions complete. When you complete this step, the package will be automatically relocked in IRBNet and the IRB will be notified that your project is ready for additional review. Please note that the IRB will not be informed that the project is ready without completing this important step.
The IRB will review your revised study documents, and if the study now meets the criteria for IRB approval, the IRB will update the study status to approved or exempt in IRBNet. You will be notified by 2 emails from the IRBNet system, one when the study has been approved, and the other when the IRB approval letter and when the IRB approved stamped research documents have been published as board documents. Note that some studies may require multiple rounds of revisions prior to approval. Please bear this in mind when considering study start dates or timelines and submit to the IRB with ample time for the review process. After initial approval, you may need to submit additional requests to the IRB, such as to request modifications to your project, to report an adverse event or protocol deviation or violation, or to submit a continuing review. These post-approval requests must also be submitted for IRB review and approval in IRBNet. As a reminder, you may not implement any changes to your IRB-approved study without prior IRB approval. Note that after a project has been approved, each additional submission to the IRB will be contained in its own separate package within IRBNet. Therefore, it is very likely you will have multiple packages for the same project in IRBNet throughout the life of the study, which will include the previously approved packages and any new packages that are pending IRB review and approval. To submit a new request for a modification to an approved project, log into IRBNet and go to My Projects. Click on the appropriate project and click Create a New Package on the left-hand sidebar. You will then be taken to a new Designer screen where you can upload the appropriate materials for your type of request, such as revised versions of your approved study documents for an amendment or a continuing review form for an annual continuing review. The process for submitting a new package to the IRB is very similar to the previous steps for submitting a new project. The principal investigator must again sign the package using the Sign This Package link on the left-hand sidebar. Once all of the relevant documents have been uploaded and the package has been signed by the PI, you may click Submit this package to send your request to the IRB for review. Simply select the North Texas Regional IRB as your reviewing board. Certify that the appropriate electronic signatures have been added, and select your submission type. You may also add any relevant comments for the board, such as deadlines. When finished, click Submit. If your submission was successful, you will see a confirmation page and receive an email from the IRBNet system. Thank you for watching this IRBNet video tutorial brought to you by the North Texas Regional IRB. If you have any questions, please contact the NTR IRB at northtexregirb@unthse.edu or visit our website.